beautiful. So here's what had happened. I wanted to have this conversation about being lonely versus being alone. And what happened was I got red. I got red because what I thought I could clearly define and be like, oh no, I've never been lonely. It's a whole lie. It's a whole lie. Let me give you a definition. Definition: being alone is a physical state. It simply means you're by yourself. It can be intentional, peaceful, and even empowering. You may enjoy alone time to recharge, focus, or reflect. Being lonely is an emotional state. It means you feel disconnected. Even if you're surrounded by people, loneliness often comes with a sense of emptiness, longing, or feeling unseen. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. I thought not having dad around made me feel alone. I was actually lonely. And I'm like, but how when I had people around? And it's like, you can be in a room full of people and be lonely. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So this is where we are. And then the next line says, you can be alone without feeling lonely, or you can be lonely without being alone. I'm like, the difference is whether you feel fulfilled or disconnected in the state. I'm like, all right. For me, it wasn't a clear difference in that moment. In the moment, it's just like, I'm going through something I've never been through before. For me, I had one friend who was younger than me and a few friends that were older than me that had lost their dad at the time that I lost mine. But let me say, I am so grateful for my big bro and my big sis because they had lost their dad right before I lost mine. And it was just like, they're the ones that came to get me from South Louisiana to tell me that he had passed and to drive me back up. But I also knew that I had them there if I needed anything, because for me, it was a struggle to navigate this thing as an only child. Like, I can sometimes say, oh, I wish I had big brothers and big sisters. Those two, my chosen big bro, big sis, I don't know if, actually, I guess I do know. Going through something with somebody else and them showing up for you in a way that you never could have imagined, that thing takes you to levels. And I have a friend who always laughs because I'm like, we just entered another level of friendship. But when you prove that you got me for real, oh man, I'm like, you locked in for life. And I will text my big bro often and be like, thanks for loving me like blood. And his quick response is always like, what you mean? We not? And I'm just like, bruh, I'm grateful for those moments. I'm grateful that we have this chosen family that can love you like that. And for me, I always struggle because both of them are from a big family. And I'm over here like, it's just me, only child me. And it's like, girl, you don't have to do this thing alone. And that's the thing that I want y'all to remember. Doesn't matter how big or small your family is, like, you need people. You need people. You can't do this thing alone. And whether you are in this room with so many people and you still feel alone, or whether it's just a moment of being by yourself to get what you need to recharge, to see what you need, take that time and navigate. I know for me, oh man, this was not supposed to be all of this. I can tell you that these last few months, I'm gonna say few, I'm feeling like I'm losing my friends. That was one of the loneliest times for me because it felt like I'm working towards friendships that aren't fighting for me in this moment. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Why are the people that I cherish not seeing me in that same manner. And then it goes into the spiraling of like, what am I doing wrong? How can I do this? And how can I do that? And it's like, ooh, hold on. You needed this moment to learn, Brittany. You needed this moment to not have a distraction. But when you're in the thick of it, what? You're like, everything's wrong with me. Everything is wrong with me. And it's like, nah. I can look back and say like, oh, this was a moment that I had to be alone so that I could walk into this next season and identify a moment when I'm overwhelmed and I'd be like, let me back up for a minute. I can support, but there's a moment that I got to make sure I'm okay. There's a moment that I got to make sure that all is well within me. But baby, that loneliness, mm-mm. So this whole thing read me today, and I was just like, this video is not that. But you thought you knew, you didn't. What you thought you knew, you didn't. And I'm okay with that. And this is just a part of the process because it's levels to it. It's levels to the places and spaces that you are in both states, whether it be physical or emotional. What do you need in those moments that you are lonely? How can you connect? How can you reconnect? Are you pulling yourself away intentionally because you're afraid of what you carry and can somebody else handle it? I know that's me. It's like, no. And I find myself being easier. That ain't the right wording. I find myself in a place to ask somebody, do you have the capacity for what I'm carrying today? And if they don't, okay, thank you for being honest with me because we can be a dump truck at times. It's like, check with your people before you start dumping. Check with your people. It happened today. A friend of mine was checking on me literally from the vlog yesterday. And I was like, thank you for checking on me. I appreciate it. And I realized that I responded with the voice memo because I was driving. And then at the end of the voice memo, I finished the whole voice memo and I was like, I just dumped on her. And all she did was check on me. Like, delete, start another one. Thank you for checking on me. I am okay. I am okay today. This frustrated me. Thank you for checking on me. And I left it at that because although I felt like her checking on me was that open door to be like, hey, you can say what you need to say. I also knew that everything that I said carried weight. And it was like, nope, we're leaving that thing right there. Check with the people before you dump, not after you dump. Because after you dump, you going on about your business and you don't know where that thing is laying on them. And also, advice to the one who often receives the dumping, learn how to leave it right there. That was one thing that I might have mentioned to y'all in a vlog. My massage therapist, she dumped. And old Brittany would have carried that woman's everything with me. Like, I knew her life story by the end of the massage. But old Brittany would have been like, oh, I would have been in my head with it. Left that thing right there on her massage table. God bless you. I'm praying for you. I really do. May your Valentine's Day be better than mine. And I'm over here like, also, you need to be grateful because I could have a Valentine and be just as miserable as she was. And I wasn't. And so I was like, okay. But learn, and I say learn because it's a process. Especially if you care, as they call, too much. It is a thing. So that's that on that. Didn't know I was gonna get read today, and I did, and it's okay because we learn, and here we are, baby, just unfolding this thing called life. I love you. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself, whatever state you may be in, be it alone or being lonely. Love you. Bye.